The movie begins with a couple, Alex and Jen, embarking on a camping trip in the Canadian wilderness. Alex, an experienced camper, is eager to show Jen, a more urban-oriented lawyer, the beauty of the wild. They are seen driving to the remote area, chatting and enjoying each other's company. As they prepare for their adventure, the scenic landscapes and serene environment set a seemingly peaceful tone. As they arrive at the entrance to the camping grounds, the couple meets Ranger Carl to register their trip. Carl offers Alex a map, which he declines. Carl insists, highlighting the potential hazards of camping during this season. Carl inquires about their destination, and Alex reveals they are heading to Blackfoot Trail. Carl informs them that the trail is off limits due to past mistreatment by campers. Alex persists, and Carl reminds him of the hefty fine for trespassing. Carl provides them with a medical kit, and they depart. Once they start unpacking, Alex scolds Jen for her constant phone use. They take a photo to mark the beginning of their adventure. The couple sets off across the lake, enjoying the stunning scenery. Upon reaching the shore, Alex accidentally drops the canoe on his foot, but brushes it off. He gives Jen a whistle from the medical kit, and Jen shows him the bear mace she bought recently. Alex finds a road flare in her bag and teases her for bringing it. They continue along a forest path, with Jen visibly uneasy about their surroundings. Alex reassures her that they won't encounter any danger, and they proceed, taking breaks to admire the nature around them. Later, they set up camp, and Alex lights a fire. He mentions a swimming hole they passed earlier, and convinces Jen to join him. They jump in and enjoy the swim. Afterward, Alex goes to gather more firewood. Jen offers to accompany him, but he declines. When Alex returns, he finds Jen talking with a hiking guide named Brad. Jen invites Brad to dinner, and Alex goes to change. Alex asks Jen if she's comfortable with Brad around, and she admits to inviting him. They argue, and Jen leaves the tent. Brad tries to leave, but the couple insists he stay for dinner. They watch as Brad cleans the fish for their meal. During dinner, Brad asks Alex about his job. After Alex responds, Brad makes a racially insensitive comment. Jen steps away to get potatoes, and Brad reveals he gives tours in the backcountry. When Alex asks about the cost of a tour, Brad gives a vague answer. Jen returns with the potatoes, and Brad goes to relieve himself by a nearby tree. Brad inquires about their plans for the following days and tells Alex that if he were Jen's boyfriend, he would take her to better spots. Brad continues to flirt with Jen, asking if she would like him to join them as a guide. She declines, and they finish their meal in awkward silence. Finally, Brad leaves, but not before confronting Alex about his initial hesitation to have Brad join them. Brad presses Alex for an explanation, and Alex turns away while Jen tries to calm the situation. Before departing, Brad hands Jen some of her underwear, adding to the tension. Alex confronts Jen about inviting Brad on the first night of their trip, and she apologizes. Brad retrieves his axe and leaves. The next morning, Alex makes Jen breakfast, and they continue their hike. Alex describes the history of Blackfoot Trail, painting a romantic picture of the scenery they will see. Jen jokes about Alex's passion for nature and his nerdy tendencies. They reminisce about their past adventures. While walking, Alex notices a fresh bear print, but decides not to tell Jen. He leads them off the main trail. Jen questions this, but he assures her it's the correct path. Alex stumbles, aggravating his injury from the canoe. They set up camp for the night, and Alex checks his painful foot. Jen uses the medical kit to clean the wound. Alex jokes about his injury as Jen bandages it. She gives him a fresh sock, and they go to sleep. Later, Jen wakes up hearing noises outside their tent. She tries to wake Alex, but fails. Hearing the noise again, she finally rouses Alex, who dismisses it as acorns falling on the tent. They hear a louder sound and wonder if Brad has returned. They listen for a while longer, and when they hear nothing more, Alex reassures Jen and tells her to go back to sleep. The next morning, they find a broken tree near their tent, indicating a large animal had been nearby. Jen expresses her desire to go home, but Alex pleads with her to stay, promising she'll love their final destination. They kiss and continue their hike, discussing various music artists along the way. Alex stops, noticing some wintergreen on the ground, and offers Jen a taste. She laughs but declines. Jen catches a peculiar scent in the air and alerts Alex, who reassures her it's nothing to worry about. Curious, Jen searches for the source of the smell, and Alex follows. They stumble upon a partially eaten deer carcass, causing Jen to walk away in disgust. As they delve deeper into the forest, Jen struggles with the rugged terrain. She slips on some animal waste, becoming frustrated and snapping at Alex when he announces they've reached their destination. Alex helps clean her face, and they push on for the final stretch of their hike. Upon reaching the summit, they look out, expecting to see a lake, but are horrified to realize they are at the wrong location. Jen panics as Alex insists he was certain of their route. She demands a map, and Alex confesses he didn't bring one, believing it unnecessary. Jen reminds him of his claims to have hiked this trail many times, even recently. Alex admits it has been much longer since his last visit, prompting Jen to scramble for her phone. Alex reveals he left Jen's phone in the car, thinking they wouldn't need it. Furious, Jen berates him for not bringing the phone, which she wanted for emergencies. Alex confesses they have ventured far from where they should be. Jen, now frantic, reminds Alex that not only are they without a map or phone, but they are also completely alone. Jen's anger boils over as she demands to know why they couldn't have a regular camping trip. She accuses Alex of always trying to impress her and show off. Alex denies this, but Jen admits she never wanted to come on this trip, calling Alex a loser. Hurt, Alex reveals he had planned to propose to her and walks away. Jen sits down, overwhelmed by the situation. He then came back to where she was sitting, and she apologized for the harsh things she said. He acknowledged her apology and told her that it was okay. As night falls, they prepare to set up camp. Alex, determined to make the best of their situation, busies himself with setting up the tent and gathering firewood. As Alex is hiding their food in a tree, he hears something moving in the forest but chooses to ignore it, chalking it up to the usual sounds of wildlife. He finishes securing the food and returns to the tent, and they sleep peacefully. The next morning, a bear paces outside their tent, sniffing and poking around. When they wake, they discover their food has been eaten. The scattered remnants of their supplies and torn packaging suggest an intruder in the night. Alex quickly blames raccoons for the theft. As they make their way down the trail, Alex finally admits they are truly lost. The weight of his words hangs heavy in the air. They continue wandering, unsure of their direction, their previous confidence now replaced by a growing sense of anxiety. During a break, Jen's eyes scan the area. She suddenly notices a large, flattened patch of grass and leaves nearby. She figured it was a bear bed and showed it to Alex. Shocked by this, she suggests they push as far as they can before nightfall, and Alex agrees. Later that night, they made a fire and sat beside it, the flickering flames casting shadows on their faces. Alex, burdened by guilt, expressed his deep remorse, his regret palpable in the heavy silence between them. He then asked if she had meant what she said earlier. Jen, feeling the weight of her own words, admitted she hadn't meant them, acknowledging that her anger had taken over. She reassured Alex of her love, seeking to heal the wounds inflicted by their argument. Alex, feeling a glimmer of hope, thought about showing Jen the engagement ring he had planned to give her. However, Jen, sensing the timing wasn't right, hesitated and decided to wait. Jen told Alex she was starving, and he rummaged through his bag and found half a protein bar. They realize they have run out of food except for the half a protein bar and a bit of alcohol. They share a drink, and Alex apologizes again. Jen reminds him that things could be worse and that they still have each other. They kiss and become intimate, but are interrupted by loud noises around their camp. Alex yells out, hoping to scare the animal away. They return to their tent, and Jen reassures Alex that he has scared off whatever was out there. The next morning, Alex woke Jen up joking about their situation. He then reassures her that everything will be okay with their relationship. As Alex opens the tent, he sees a bear extremely close by. He tells Jen to stay quiet as the bear draws closer. Jen asked what was going on, but he kept telling her to keep quiet. The bear is now walking directly towards them, and Alex saw it. Alex scrambles to find his axe, but realizes it's not inside the tent. Jen readies her bear mace as the bear approaches the tent entrance. Suddenly, everything fell silent, but then the bear rips through the tent, injuring Jen. Alex fights to protect Jen and gets in front of her. The bear, without being startled by Alex's scream, bit his leg. Jen sprays the bear with mace, causing it to temporarily retreat. She tries in vain to bandage Alex's injury as he screams in agony. Alex started screaming, saying he couldn't feel his feet as Jen tried to calm him down. Despite his fears that he will die, Jen does her best to reassure him. The bear returns and suddenly starts dragging Alex away. Jen desperately tries to hold on to Alex, clenching his hand with all her strength, but the bear's power is overwhelming. Despite her efforts, the bear pulls him away, leaving Jen helpless and distraught. Alex shouts for Jen to run. She scrambles out of the tent and starts running, her heart pounding with terror. Glancing back, she sees the remnants of Alex's body and is overcome with fear and grief, but she trips and hits her head on a rock, knocking herself out. When she regains consciousness, she screams for help to no avail. Clutching the engagement ring, she slips it on her finger and mourns Alex. Hearing the bear nearby, Jen continues her escape despite her injuries. As night falls, Jen climbs a tree and tries to rest. She wakes to the sound of a helicopter and screams for help, but it flies away without noticing her. She cleans her wounds in a stream and eats some wintergreen she finds nearby. The bear reappears, and Jen runs with the bear close behind. Reaching a waterfall, Jen climbs down the right inside but slips, injuring her leg. She improvises a splint from nearby branches and continues onward, using her road flare to light the way through the night. The next day, exhausted and injured, she collapses. Jen awakens and pushes forward until she finds their canoe. She paddles across the lake, finally reaching the starting point before collapsing from exhaustion. The movie concludes as Brad, who is preparing to guide a group, spots Jen and rushes to help her. And with that, the movie ends. I hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen and don't forget to subscribe for amazing videos. See you in the next one.